Yes, sir. We are back again. I don't like the way my levels are sounding, but I don't care. Let's
What?
get this pod started. I don't know.
Can I hear myself? Yeah.
Yeah, we good. Well, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Alex G, and I'm alongside Mal, and this is the A Couple of Things podcast, where we're here to talk about a couple of things. Yeah, we don't have anything to talk about specifically today, but I am running the show today, so it's definitely gonna be a lot more fun.
Well, I'm gonna like go. Find,
No, you're not gonna go find some things.
No, I'm saying there's some things we
No,
talk
you're
about,
not gonna go find some things.
like how the Michaels were guilty.
No,
Yes.
no. So first things first. Um, yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys for watching.
You shut up.
Nah. Um, yeah, I don't really like we've been doing a lot of political stuff. But if you want to get into that, whatever you had to
I
say
mean, I
about
was
that.
just saying how the Michaels were, and like the other guy, what was his name? William.
I ain't saying his name. It's not important.
Whatever. There's three of them, but they were found guilty on most counts. I think Travis, the main one who actually shot Ahmaud Arbery, was guilty on all counts. His dad, Gregory, was guilty on all except the malice murder. And then William Bryan, who was the guy who was recording, was guilty on all counts except the aggravated assault, the count 6 aggravated assault, because there was 2 counts for that. Malice murder, and then the felony murder. I think the felony murder charge was as it pertains to the gun. So he didn't have a weapon, but he still got the felony murder charge as far as like being in the vehicle. There was like multiple felony murder charges, but all 3 of them were guilty in some form when it came to Ahmaud Arbery's murder, and that's all we wanted. So I'm happy. I think that was like such an obvious case, like, but you just never know. Like, even with these cases where it's so obvious that they were wrong, you just never know. Because the history in our, in our country, and cases like this never really go our way. So, yeah, thank God. So we'll see how the sentencing goes. That's always something else. Like, you always gotta hold your breath, right? We don't know for sure until we get the sentencing. But I will say that judge and like the court, they all seem like they was against the BS. The judge was like not for the BS and not for the racism. So we'll see how the sentencing goes. But this was big. This was a good thing for our community and for progress to be made. So yeah, just an update for that, because we talked about it last week, and we had our little segment about wanna we cop losers. So
I'm just gonna hit a bunch of random buttons here because I don't know what they do. Okay.
you forgot.
Because the names don't really show up, but
Yeah.
quickly transitioning. Who birthed the greatest artist, Jay-Z or Lil Wayne?
Oh yeah, they had that conversation. I think you got to give it to Jay-Z, and the reason why is because you don't have a Nicki and you don't have a Drake without Jay-Z, without Kanye. Because since Rihanna and Kanye fall under that Jay-Z branch, I feel like you have them, but there's so much impact on their careers, on people like Nicki and Drake's career that come from that tree.
I don't think that was the question, though. It was just which one's better. Because you could still have been influenced by them, but still be better than them.
I know, you're right. I mean, as far as making hits, obviously we're gonna give it to Lil Wayne people, but as far as like being like moguls, you got to give it to the Jay-Z. Only one group of them is all billionaires.
We're not talking about moguls, though. We just which.
You're talking about the music?
Group? No, we're not even talking about music. We just which group you taking?
Jay-Z's group. That's a hard one though. Like, you gotta admit that's a hard one, because it's Drake obviously and Nicki are like Drake and Nicki.
I know these conversations and debates are all for good fun, but I'm gonna be the old guy in the room and say I hate when people do this. Mostly just because it's like we have these people that impacted. You wouldn't even be able to account for how much of an impact that they've had globally on more than just music. And while I do know that the conversation is just to put a debate out there, people go back and forth and just have fun with it. I really do hate that we do that, because
Because you can't compare.
Yeah, like you
All like both groups were iconic,
and
and all have done crazy things.
and have done different things. It's like one thing if they made like similar music, but they none of them in that group make similar music at all. I would say that Jay-Z as a rapper, I think God, I'm about to get in my music nerd bag, but forever Southern music was always looked at, especially by New York and like West Coast, as being like what they doing over there. Like nobody really understood it because the slang, the way they talk, all that stuff was different. But like in the East, like people like Nas, Jay Z, Biggie resonated over here, and then out in the West, like Snoop and Pac resonated over there. And to me, Lil Wayne would be the equivalent of those people, but to the South. So to like immediately discredit just because maybe the lyrical content might be a little bit different, I don't really like that. But yeah, I just would, for the argument's sake, my preference would be like if I only had to listen to a certain group's music forever, it would have to be Jay Z's, which is so tough because like a lot of Drake stuff, like obviously Drake makes a lot of really good music, but for me, it's more so Wayne's impact and the songs that he's done and mixtapes that he's dropped. That would be like that's the tough part for me because I don't really listen to Nicki too much. Like I listen anytime she drops, but it's not really like I'm not the audience for it, so I don't really listen to it like that. But I could kind of like live without her music, and I could live without Drake's because at this point, like any new music, I could live without. But that's what gives it to me. But I don't even listen to Rihanna that much on the other end.
Yeah.
So, but I listen to Rihanna more than I listen to Nicki. It's really a tough one, but definitely.
And that's why I think the argument too is just about superstardom. Can you think Jay-Z like discovers superstars, and then you have Lil Wayne discover superstars? Like these are all like all these Rihanna,
It's tough.
Kanye, Drake, Nicki are all like cemented into being huge artists.
Yeah, it's like
So that's why I was like, it says you can't really even make the comparison.
that's a tough one.
And like I said too, like if you do make the comparisons, like as far as like moguls though, like you got to give it. As far as moguls, you got to give it to Kanye and Nicki. I mean, sorry, Kanye and Rihanna and Jay-Z, because like they're billionaires, you know. Ow, my hair's itchy. I'm wait for you to come back.
Yeah. Definitely business wise, I don't really think there's a lot of debate there because like
That's just so crazy to me though. Like that you could literally birth like all three guys are billionaires. Like that's
the one thing I'd like that would be interesting to know is like how much of an impact Jay-Z really had on them business wise because I don't even know.
I don't think they had an impact on him business wise.
Yeah, I feel like Jay-Z probably didn't impact them too much business wise because even in the business that Rihanna and Kanye are in, that's something that well then again Jay-Z did have Rockaware.
Yeah.
I just mean like I wonder his impact in terms of like maybe keys that he gave them
maybe
or
he gave them advice.
doors he maybe had open because he did that whole apparel Rockaware thing way before either one of them did.
Yeah.
You know, Fenty or Yeezy.
But then you know Kanye's always had dreams of being in the fashion world. Like always. So it's like I feel like he would have did it regardless.
Yeah. It's a tough one. It's definitely a tough one, but I don't think on either side of the argument, I don't think either one is wrong.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, just whatever your cup of tea is. Like I know a lot of people would pick Lil Wayne over like Lil Wayne's group over Jay-Z's. Like I think honestly probably most people would probably pick that because I think the music is more
Music wise.
music is more not that they necessarily make better music, but in terms of the music that was playing as you were growing up, you were gonna hear more Lil Wayne, Nicki, and Drake than you would have heard a Jay-Z song because
Like they had an empire, literally.
like I don't hear I don't hear too many kids ever like listening to Blueprint 3 like I was at the time when it came out because that was just I just like good music. I don't care who's making the music. Like I just like good music. So, but for the most part, kid like you can't really turn up to Jay-Z music like that because that's just not the type of music that he
But
makes.
that's saying it's still good, but it's not like
Just like Kanye, like Kanye's
yeah.
music really
Kanye's music
sells.
is really good, yeah, but it doesn't hit the same as Nicki and Drake as far as like you know
Party,
club music, yeah,
like
like
people just don't like.
radio music.
So I'm sure most people would probably pick Wayne, but I thought it was an interesting debate. But definitely business wise, the way they carry themselves,
You gotta give it to Rihanna.
not Kanye so much, but mostly Rihanna.
You said not Kanye.
Yeah,
As far as how he carry himself.
yeah,
Oh, can you mean how like Rihanna and Jay Z are kind of more like private, but like and they like have this certain like
it's mystique, it's
Yeah.
aura, it's like the whole
Aura, yeah.
like thing that that Prince kind of like made a thing was that people always tell stories about like when Prince walked in the room, like it was like he was floating. Like that's the kind of thing that I admire when people hit a certain status and then they you just don't even hear from them. They're just like doing their own thing, living their own life. Like I personally like that. I don't really like people that like when people achieve like a bunch of things and then like are still out here acting as if like they didn't win.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Not that.
I mean, I feel like Kanye does both though, because like you saw this Donda era, he was mute.
Yeah, that's what I like.
His rollout was literally he didn't say a word, literally.
But like we were just seeing, and of course we always end up going on a Kanye little side thing. But when he was doing like the Ellen show and stuff like that, like I personally don't like that. Actually, I'm weird because I prefer people that I like to not see them.
I don't like the Ellen Show thing, because the Ellen Show for me feels like something about her show. It just feels weird to me. I don't know. It feels very like commercialized, you know. Like they have commercial breaks and stuff. Like it doesn't feel like him. Like Drink Champs felt like him. Like he was around people that he felt comfortable with. That he could get his get everything off that he wanted to get off, and just be chilling. Ellen Show was like so commercial.
Yeah.
It's like game segment. This segment it's just like
Yeah, I don't like that. Drink Champs has that game thing too, which
but the way he did it is like different.
I still don't like the way. I still don't like going on games. I just want to hear from the people.
And nobody wants to do what they used to do. What was the Drink Champs one?
It was like either or, like you pick this or that.
I mean, it was cool, but it was just like
Yeah.
necessary.
I just like my because I love the Drink Champs one because it's very insightful. I just like my superstars to act like not even superstars, they're beyond that. I like my icons, my legends to act legendary. Like we don't see Beyonce out too much. Like you don't.
I just saw a tweet about that other day too. Somebody said, and they're thankful that Beyonce is quiet. They're like they actually used to hate that, but they actually said now that they're older, they're thankful for it. And they appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's like just chilling.
Yeah, you just
No dirt on her. No, she's not getting caught up in no stupid news articles. Like I think people are realizing how corny it is. Like how some of these celebrities just keep talking. It's like it's just corny.
Yeah, and I don't really want to hear it, but yeah. So that I just wanted to at least explain why my preference for music. I like I also like when people really take a really long time with their albums and like makes it at least sound like you, because you can hear the difference when somebody really sat with an album for a couple of years and like really worked on it. And I feel like I get that more with with them because with Jay, like he doesn't do albums very frequently. Kanye kind of does, but
it's weird because it seems like he doesn't, but then when you really look at his discography, he does. Like it's like every like 2 years.
Yeah,
which is a good thing for a Kanye fan. We love music.
But even some of those releases, I could have done without. Like I could have went without the Cruel Summer album. I could have went without the Ye album.
Yeah, like it was cool, but it's like wasn't really necessary.
Yeah, because even
I feel like during that era, he should just focus on the collabs. He should just focus on Pusha T's project, Nas, Ty Taylor. Like we didn't need Ye during that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why like what you were saying. Did you hear what Adele said about how she I think she actually pushed for Spotify to get rid of shuffle for albums? Did you hear that? I think that's like cool because it's like what you're saying, like we want projects and like and Adele's still like very into the keeping albums as like artwork and having like a storyline and being cohesive and everything. So
Spotify not going to change that because
I think they did change it actually. People were making a joke saying, "Oh, of course, when a white woman spoke up about something in the music industry, it got changed immediately." I think they actually did take it off.
Was it just for her album?
I think it was just for albums in general, like all albums.
Because
Let me look it up though. Let me.
that was part of their like marketing money plan. Like I can't imagine that they really just switched that just because she said something. Because
Yeah.
that was part of the thing is that if you got like Spotify Premium,
Yeah. Look. Spotify has stopped shuffling albums by default.
so yeah, okay. So if you play an album, then
Yeah.
But if you still just go play any other thing, it'll like a
Yeah.
playlist. It'll still be shuffled unless
There's
you
a
pay
small
for it.
shuffle icon with the larger play button. This indicated that Spotify would begin playing the albums randomly when you wanted to listen to them. Now when you hit play, it plays in order. So I think before play, we'll still shuffle it. So you could still enable shuffle mode by toggling on the shuffle icon. But when you click play, like it won't automatically shuffle. Like in Apple Music, you click play and it used to be in order. For Spotify, you click play and it will just play like randomly. It will shuffle automatically.
Mine still does that, but I guess if you're playing a specific album,
Yeah, album.
because if I go play a playlist, it'll shuffle the playlist, and
Yeah.
I don't have any way to.
So, but it's probably just an album, yeah. Which I think that's cool.
Yeah, get your money up and you get some power.
Yep.
That's the thing, because she sold almost 1 million first week. Mm-hmm. People ain't even coming
That's
remotely close to that.
albums.
But when you
It's
sell
crazy.
when you selling 1 million first week, you get to talk a certain way. Because remember, it's 1 million first week times $10. An album is $10 million in one day or 1 week.
Some sick numbers.
That's just off of sales. It's not even with streaming or merch or nothing else, touring. So when you're generating that type of money, then you're able
You
to
have power, yeah.
yeah. And when you're not going crazy,
Yeah. Like
screaming on people in the public, like brands don't want to get behind people that do all that. But yeah, we definitely do have some people in our culture that have that power. But yeah, that's one of the only things I had.
I'm trying to see what else. I know, we didn't really watch the American Music Awards, so I don't really want to speak on that.
Yeah, I'm not watching
The
award
award
shows
shows,
anymore.
yeah. I'm just over them. Like they don't mean anything to me really anymore because I feel like we've seen enough times that these award shows they don't really. I get as a celebrity that you'll be happy when you win one, but they don't really mean anything.
Was that the one that Tyler performed at, Tyler the Creator?
Yeah.
So I didn't watch the thing.
I heard it was good though.
But I heard it was really
Yeah.
good. But one thing I do want to say about that just quickly is that I'm happy that Tyler's he's had a really interesting career and transition
Yeah.
and stuff that he's been into. So it's really wild for somebody like me that's watched him and listened to his music from like the rip. And I know for a lot of people that listen to Tyler, the first thing that they could think of is Yonkers, and that's obviously the first thing I think of. But the visuals behind that, I remember I used to run that video back a million times.
That was like the first time I really seen his visuals.
And just
And I was like, wow, this is like a cool concept.
and just and just seeing where he's at now, where he's getting the recognition of his artistic ability and being able to go because he did his BET Awards one I watched, and that one was really good. So being able to see it all come to life and come full circle is definitely a crazy thing. And like what he referenced, and I always keep talking about this interview, but it was so insightful about the High 97 one.
It was good.
When he said that, when he was talking about cancel culture, and he was like, can you imagine if they got me out of here in 2012? And like, because you see what he's been able to do since that whole thing where countries were banning him from coming there. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And to be able to see where he's been able to take it from there, which is crazy. And that's why I don't like cancel culture, because like you said, like, what if all these people you cancel, you getting them out of there, and it's like, what could have been?
Yeah. Because some people with cancel culture really went into hiding and just haven't came out. You know who they really canceled? That Jussie Smollett guy who lied about the
Well, speaking of Jussie,
what?
He's going to his court date is soon.
Oh, for this?
For
Why is
for
it
the
so long?
I don't know.
They got him out of here. I haven't heard anything from him since.
They
But he needed to get canceled because that was weird.
that was pretty wild. But now he's going to court.
I immediately knew something was off too when that first was happening. I immediately was like, all right.
Chicago Magus
Like,
hats.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Like Charles Barkley said, Magus hats. Yeah, but I'm not sure when the date is specifically.
That's gonna be. Everyone's gonna be talking about that.
I think it's soon or something like that, and he's facing felony charges for lying about that whole situation and what happened. So we'll see what happens. Honestly, you know, I don't. I mean, I get what he was trying to do, but because of that, then I'm not.
It's just, it was pointless.
Whatever
it was
happens,
so
happens.
pointless. Like, and like I get like white people lied on black people for so many years, for stuff like this. But it's like you just make us look crazy. Like, don't fight fire with fire. Like, no, that didn't do anything positive for us at all. It actually made us look crazy as a whole. Like, a lot of white people use that as fuel in their like racist rants. So that's gonna be interesting to know when that case happens. But
I don't see how he wins that one.
yeah, no, he's not. He's not winning that.
Bleach.
Yeah, that Bleach thing was crazy. And then the noose. Maybe they said he had the noose, and someone said it was like yarn. It wasn't even yarn. It was like thread that you sew with, like that thin little.
If he was gonna lie, he should have at least like not lied so hard. Like he
was. It was so extreme.
He said bleach. Yeah, they put noose around
his
his neck. They had MAGA hats on. Like
he
threw a lot of sauce on it. And what Subway is open that late?
Yeah,
that was the craziest part of the story
like
to
2
me.
2 a.m. Like Subway's not open at 2 a.m.
No, I think it was like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. or something crazy.
Like even in New York, don't they close at like 11?
Not even that. It was probably even earlier than that. He threw way too much sauce on that story. But but yeah, I just happened to see that earlier today. It's like 3 years. It's already been 3 years.
That's crazy. Time flies.
It's crazy.
My arm's edgy. But yeah. I'm just scrolling to see what to talk about. I didn't write down any notes this week.
Yeah, stop going on
the
that
shit. About Wendy Williams. She has early signs of dementia.
Now you're gonna make
me. Brother shuts down rumors that she's battling dementia. So I thought he said that she was. So that was a rumor. He's saying he denied it. Did you hear about that? Like they were saying like some clip surfaced that said that he said that she had early signs of dementia, but now he's shutting that down. And that's good to know because that's kind of crazy, Like that's like a wild accusation.
I don't really like talking about her anyway. I don't rock with her, so.
You don't? I mean, she's just doing her job, but I guess she goes too far. She does go too far. She goes too far. But that doesn't mean she deserves anything bad that happens to her. I mean, but people always talk about karma, and I guess karma could be karma if you believe in karma, but I just don't like to wish bad on anybody because that's karma, to wish bad on people,
I never said that.
No, I didn't say you said that. I'm saying me personally.
Yeah, that whole thing, I'm not even going to talk about it, never mind. Yeah.
What are we talking about next? Do you want to talk about Iman Shumpert winning Dancing with the Stars? I don't watch Dancing with the Stars. I used to watch it, but a lot of these shows are just corny to me. I'm turning into one of those like people who just hate everything. I'm turning into you. Dancing with the Stars is just boring to me now.
TV is boring.
TV is boring. I mean, I'm happy for him. That was cool. That's a cool accomplishment. When you become like you're an NBA player, and all of a sudden now you winning, game shows and stuff. So
what you need to do is get back on that court. He can still ball.
He doesn't play anymore?
I don't think so.
Yeah, wait, what? Where am I? Like,
maybe he does. Maybe I'm bugging. But
I
highly doubt he's doing pirouettes while playing in the league.
Is he retired? I just realized that.
I haven't heard about him because he transitioned teams so many times. Yeah, he's hoping for NBA comeback.
Oh, jeez, I didn't know.
Yeah, you need to get back on that court.
He's still too young to not be playing still.
Is he? Because he's been balling forever.
Yeah, right. Is he old or young?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's 31.
Oh, yeah. See? How old is LeBron? Is LeBron like 40?
Yeah, but LeBron way older than
That's what I said.
Yeah.
It's LeBron like 40. So I'm saying that 31 is still young.
LeBron's like 36.
Yeah, so 31 is still young to not be playing.
Yeah. Good for him.
Ow, that hurt. All right, next we will just do like, what's it called? Like fast money?
No, we're not doing fast money off the Shade Room. Don't even look at the Shade Room for topics.
No, I'm talking about Kanye.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We just had like a whole talk about Kanye.
Saint playing playing?
No, we don't care about that.
Okay.
We don't care
All right.
about
What about all right? Well, you know what? What about Summer Walker getting the face tat with her new man? You think face tats are stupid? Do you think tats in general, if with your man's name or girl's name is done? Because he got her name too. Summer.
I saw people saying
Larry.
Summer. He could freak it because
Yeah,
Summer can mean anything.
You could put a little sun next to it, and it
You
could
could
just.
put
But his name is Larry. There's no way you get away around Larry on your head. Do you think she's stupid because like she just went through this devastating relationship, and now you with this other guy, and like she claims they knew each other for the mad long, but now you getting face tats. Like if you don't get somebody's name tattooed, I just feel like on your face is kind of like a crazy place to get it. You can get it anywhere else, but on your face.
I always have to preface this. I don't care. I always listen. I always have to
We're just
preface
talking
it. I know.
about it.
I know. Always have to preface it. I think just do whatever you want. I don't think anything is stupid.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I don't care because it's not my body; it's her body and it's her life. So at the end of the day, I don't really care either. I'm saying if it was me, I'm not doing it. But you know, that's why everybody's different.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of tattoos really. So
You are on and off about what you like and what you don't like.
you didn't just hear me talking about me not liking tattoos.
Yeah, but a while ago you said you low key wanted one, and
Yeah,
then
but-
when we was in college, you said you liked mine.
Yeah,
So now you don't like mine.
no.
Yeah, you flip floppy.
I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about.
So
we're
you
talking
like,
about. You're
so you
talking
like
about.
mine.
I wouldn't never get a tattoo because I don't know if you overheard my conversation, but I said I would never get like a tattoo or piercing because the second I got it, I would like instantly regret it, and then I would like it, and
Because
then
like
I
I
would
said,
regret it again.
you're a flip floppy person, so that makes sense. No, yeah, babe. Based on my observation of you over these past few years, you are very like abrupt with what you like and don't like. Like you switch. Yes,
Not true.
yes.
I'm pretty consistent with what I like.
No,
Yeah, give some examples.
no. Like you honestly, like you'll like something and then you'll be like,
Give
I
some
don't like it
examples.
no more. Like no, certain shoes that you've had, certain like clothes, tattoos. Like I said, you say you like tattoos, now you don't. I just think you like stuff and you don't. Or you get bored of stuff easily. Like I just think you like to like change a lot. So I feel like
I don't think I get bored of anything.
this is my observation.
No,
So you would never get a tattoo?
no, but I've been said that. That's why I don't have a tattoo. That's being consistent in my thought.
No, could you bet?
'Cause if I really wanted it-
no, but you've been on and off about whether you want tattoos or not. You said that you might get.
But if I
one.
wanted one, then I would get one,
Yeah, but
which means that I don't want one
I know
I
so
didn't
many
get
people
one.
who really want one who just haven't got one yet because they're still kind of on the like not on the fence, but like
I'm nowhere near the fence. I'm in the house.
yeah, but you were on the fence for a long time.
I wasn't on the fence for a long time because I would have just got one. There's nothing holding me back from getting a tattoo.
No, because like everybody said I would just got one, but like it's not kind of I just would have got one type of thing. You got to plan about what you want. You got to think.
No, I
think
already.
it out.
If I was to get a tattoo, I already know what I would want. There's really no.
What would you get?
I would get
Something Scorpio related.
what I was gonna do actually originally was on my left chest because it would be across my heart. I was gonna put like it would be kind of morbid. That's kind of like why.
Family members.
Yeah, I would put like people that meant something to me that died. I would put them on near my heart.
That's not morbid. People tell all the time.
Yeah, but it would. I was gonna do it kind of like because
Is
there's
that
no
a dog barking?
there's no good way to do it because you would have to like almost leave space for more people to die, and it just would kind of look weird design wise.
No, because usually if you like go to somebody and let them know your vision, like they'll know to keep space for stuff.
Yeah, but that's weird to me because it's like
Then get something else.
no, because I would only ever get something that was important to me.
A lot of stuff is important to you, like me.
I would only ever get
Like my tattoos was like me. You know, it's my name, the year I was born, my zodiac sign, and then like a little meaningful message.
Yeah, I would never do that. It would only ever have to be something I cared about, which really would just be family members. Like I would, like even the reason why I got that necklace, whatever, my lineage is birthstones in it. Like I would do something like that, but on me. I mean, maybe I could do it that way. Like people don't have to be dead
They
to
don't
do
have to be
it.
dead. Yeah, this could be anybody that you love. Your whole, you know.
But I just didn't like it design wise.
I mean, that's why sometimes you like people go to artists that will sketch out the vision for them and do all that. But that's why I never care to do all that. I'm too lazy to do that, so I just get these small little meaningful ones. I want to get 333 behind my ear.
Yeah, that would be all I would get. But because that's all I would get, it would just kind of look weird. I think just having the one kind of like script going across the chest, but not anything else ever. because I wouldn't do anything else. Because
Like,
nothing else.
usually when people do that, they like that's just the start of a whole sleeve they do.
Yeah, I literally wouldn't do anything else. The only other thing that I would do would probably be like some insane, like massive, probably take weeks to finish scorpion tattoo. Like, I don't know how I would do it because I didn't really think too far into it. But what I was thinking is if there's some way to make like the scorpion and then the tail of the scorpion
Like
wrap around like my arm or something like that, like my right arm.
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
It's weird. I can't even envision you with tattoos.
it wouldn't look right.
I just feel like I can't even picture you with them. I
Because
don't know.
my thing is, it's not that I don't like tattoos. It's just that I don't like them really for me. So I don't know. That's why I would end up regretting it because it's like I don't want to be forced into any permanent decisions ever really.
True, but then I feel like you just have to look like I feel like with certain stuff you gotta look at it in a different light. Like for me, I don't even look at tattoos as being like such a detrimental permanent thing. Cause I'm like, this is just my body that I'm living in for how many long years, and then this is gonna disintegrate.
Anyway, yeah, I don't like them enough to want to really do it, but I don't think they look bad depending on
How you do it?
how you do it.
And
I also
not
don't
even-
think face tattoos look bad depending
yeah,
on how you do it.
I'm not against face tattoos either. Like I think face tattoos are cool. Like low key, if I didn't have a corporate job, I'd probably get something. Like, I used to be so against face tattoos too. So I'm like, that's your face. But I think some of them look good. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't though. 'Cause I'm still so like specific on my face. But some people do it cute. Like I liked Damian. She did like something like on the side, like on her temple. And I like how like some people do like a little heart. But sometimes I feel like you outgrow and you'll be like, this is childish when you're older. But even neck tattoos, like I don't know, there's certain tattoos I would do if I didn't have a corporate job, but neck tattoos are kind of risky too.
That's the thing. I just know me, and I know that I would like
Hate it.
I would end up hating it.
Yeah.
Eventually, because
Yeah, you had to really just not care.
yeah,
Or really just like,
really want it.
yeah,
But
and know that you because I don't regret any of mine.
Because for me, it's like, why do I really even want it? I really don't, to be honest.
it's just for me, it's like an accessory. Like I feel like it just adds something to my look.
I think that I don't know.
Yeah, it just adds to my look.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just not for me, but that's fine.
But as far as like, I'm not against name tattoos either, but that's not on my face. And like, you had to be with somebody for so long. Like, you would have to know this is it. Like, this is my partner. Like, I think so many people don't know for sure. Like, it has to be. We've been together for over 10 years, and we're married, and stuff like that. And but people get divorced even that far. But I think people who get divorced like 20 years in know, like, they know early on that they don't like each other, but they just hold out. You know, like I feel all these couples that divorced so late, you know that they've been hated each other, right? Like, it's not like somebody just randomly changes that far in like that along the lines, right?
Yeah.
Like usually, you've been settling for the last decade, and it just finally got to the point where you just did it. But I feel like the same goes to say, like, like you're gonna be with somebody forever. Like, you just have to know to get that tattoo. So I don't know. I feel like the whole getting tattoos of people's names is like a weird, like, I think it's something wrong though. Like, I'm not against it, but I feel like a lot of people who get them so quickly, they have something wrong. Like trauma, childhood trauma, something, dependency issues. For men, like wanting their girls to get it is almost like claiming your property. There's deeper issues with some people. I'm not saying everybody, but there's definitely some deeper issues. Yeah.
Yeah, good for her.
I mean, I hope she's happy, but I don't know. She has a lot of face tattoos already, but who knows?
Yeah, whatever works for her.
Well, I keep scratching my ear.
Her album was good.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. I'm just here for the music. I don't really care about anything else these people got going on. Only here for the music.
Oh my God.
Stupid Mike.
But your Thanksgiving just passed. Happy belated Thanksgiving to everybody. We didn't say that. We should have said that in the beginning.
No.
Still got some leftovers in the fridge. I made the macaroni and cheese.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
This football player, I'm low key rolling with him. Like, sometimes we gotta take a step back. I don't have his name, unfortunately, but he is of black descent, and he said that we should get macaroni and cheese out of here, and it's the reason why so many people are running to the bathroom so often.
I mean,
Come
I
on,
could
talk about it.
agree.
Listen, I agree with him. I'm rolling.
Macaroni is so bad. Like
It's horrible.
now that I made it this year, like and really, really made it, I was like, this is a lot. Evaporated milk, whole milk, 5 different types of cheese. Like that's literally a recipe for either breakouts. Like I know a lot of people who have like who are prone acne prone don't like eating macaroni and cheese because like dairy clogs your pores and breaks you out, and it's messed up for your stomach.
It's
Like
horrible.
I think our stomach's been messed up.
No, I've been fine. I just
No, I don't know. I'm also on my period.
Also-
TMI, but like being on your period makes your
I also didn't eat a lot of it
bowel
this year. Like literally, I got like a scoop. My mom was like, "That's it." I'm like,
no, but like the one I made. Did you eat mine?
barely.
Cause mine was like a dairy disaster.
Yeah,
It was
there was a lot going on.
so much dairy.
I had a little bit of yours.
It was
Yeah.
busting though. I will say my grandma would be proud. She tried it, but yeah.
You know, I think next year. I don't know. Listen,
I mean,
the
the
conversation has
thing
to
is,
be
no,
had.
but the thing is, like, I think it's in moderation. Like, eat it once a year. Like that, just let that just be a Thanksgiving thing. Some people, some people eat like these Thanksgiving meals like regularly, like regular. I mean, I can't talk regular. That's a weird word, isn't it? Regularly.
No, it's not. It's regularly.
Regularly.
All right, anyway.
People no, but some people eat like that all the time. Like there's some people who literally eat stuff like Thanksgiving type meals like consistently. Like baked mac and cheese is like a random Thursday night deal, like dish in the house. Like that's the people I'm concerned for. Like I made baked mac and cheese earlier this year just to see if I can make it. But for me, usually that's like a once a year thing. Or if we go to a random soul food restaurant, obviously I will get it. But usually that's a once a year dish for me. Like that baked mac and cheese, the candy yams, all that is usually like a once a year type of deal. And like I said, sometimes we randomly go get it from a soul food spot, and we'll eat it and it's chilling. But some people eat like that consistently, and like that's what it's like. All right, but yeah, put that away. High blood pressure, diabetes coming.
Yeah, I hate the holidays, especially for anybody that's health conscious and black. Maybe you know what I mean.
The holidays
Is terrible because like you're gonna get outcasted for how you eat, and I'm not.
My
vegan.
parents always did for their vegan stuff.
Yeah.
It was always jokes.
I'm not a vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. I don't have but I'm very specific about what I eat. So when you have those sorts of limitations, you definitely get looked at weird. Like the other day, I was at work and they were talking about like jerky, and they were like, "Oh, do you like Slim Jims?" And then I'm like, once upon a time when I ate red meat, yeah, but then they look at you weird, like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, nah, I'm looking at you weird. Like, just eat whatever you want. But
Yeah, that's what I hate how people make fun of vegan stuff. It's like why are you that pressed about someone else's dietary options? Like I get if one thing of the vegans are like pushing you, pressuring you, slandering you, okay. Maybe they do a lot. But as far as like if someone just like sometimes I feel like people like some vegans just exist and then like people on Twitter be like, what is that? Like, why are you so pressed about someone else's dietary options? Like I'm not saying what is that? You eating a freaking cow's tail. Like you're eating a cow's tail. Oxtail is a tail of ox.
I wish I had an applause button.
And you looking at me weird about why you're eating a freaking oxtail. Like ew. Like that's probably just as bad as chitlins. You're eating a tail. You're eating a tail.
Anyway, I don't know why you're yelling, but yeah, we may need to
Ew. I never tried it and I never want to.
and mac and cheese is amazing.
It's busting.
It's probably my favorite side after mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like
Wait,
mashed
mashed
potatoes
potatoes
so
is your
much.
favorite side?
Yeah.
My favorite side. Honestly, for Thanksgiving or any holiday, the 4 things I really need, or you can say 5: macaroni and cheese, yams, collard greens, and stuffing. That's all I care about. Honestly, I don't really care for any other dish.
So everything in a Thanksgiving meal.
No, because some people have like cornbread. I don't really care for cornbread. I don't really care for that's why I said 5 sometimes because like turkey is good, but sometimes it depends on how it's cooked or some type of meat like chicken. But that's not bad. I'm saying like I don't like any other thing. Like my mom made turnips. Like okay, they're cool. We don't really like them. What else do people eat for Thanksgiving? Did I really say most of it?
Yeah, you said the whole thing, except cranberry sauce.
No, I like cranberry sauce too. But I'm saying like that's like the 4 things I could just always eat. Like there's a whole bunch of other sides that people usually bring and stuff, but that's literally the 4 things like mac and cheese, yams, stuffing, collard greens. I'm good after that.
I don't need any of that. All I need, honestly, is mashed potatoes,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Mashed potatoes are good, but I just don't like them for Thanksgiving. Like, 'cause that's something I eat regularly. Like,
The funny thing is, none of the people, none of the pilgrims, none of the natives ate none of that on
yeah,
Thanksgiving.
what they eat, like
Corn,
like, yeah, corn.
No, they didn't even eat corn. They ate maize.
Yeah,
They ate maize and
and soup.
some leaves.
I remember when I lived in New York. I think I told you this a million times. I went on this field trip, and it was like a Native American type field trip. We was in the woods, and we made soup and stuff, and we made all these foods. It was very interesting. I wish I could have. I remember, but I still lived in New York at the time. You know, there's a lot of that stuff out in New York.
When in my travels, and I don't know where I was, and it's the weirdest thing. I have it in my mind exactly where I was, but I can't remember.
I hate that.
It was like, because when we go on these, for everybody that doesn't have any context, I've pretty much been to every state in the U.S., so I do a lot of like domestic traveling and stuff like that, and do a lot of historical sort of expeditions, excursions, and things like that, like random things, like where the first flight ever happened. Like I went there. Like I've sat in the same bus seat that Rosa Parks refused to get out of. Just random things. So there's this one place that I went to, and they do like these recreation, like these Native American recreation things, and like you could go into like the teepees and see exactly how they live. Like it's literally recreation.
That's really like what I did. It was in New York though. And it wasn't on Long Island.
Definitely not.
It was on Long Island.
It was out in the country somewhere.
That probably was cool too though, because like you got to see like Native Americans were all over the country.
Yeah, they'll yell at you. Like people got yelled at for saying the word. Like if you say the word Indian anywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because isn't like that's not the proper term. It's Native American.
Yeah. Or call them by their actual, name,
tribes.
Yeah. Somebody got yelled at because the native
was out there.
The native was because for them they're not really reenacting anything because they're actually native, but they're still reenacting kind of.
But they could get out of character and be like, all right.
Yeah, they were like,
have some respect.
Don't call us that. But yeah, what were we even talking about? We were talking about Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we gotta. No, I'm not doing a deep dive here.
I just like it's just moderation. Eat that stuff once a year. Don't eat that because if you're gonna eat that, just eat it once a year. Eat it on the holidays, and that's it.
But remember that argument that I just made earlier, where if you can eat it only once a year, then you could eat it no times a year.
True, but it's good. You know, people aren't gonna give it up. That's like because unfortunately, a lot of our ethical. Is that the word?
Ethical.
Ethnic. A lot of our ethnic foods for our culture is that like African American culture. You know how everybody has their foods in their culture. Our food is soul food, mac and cheese, the candied yams, like the collard greens. All that stuff that's our culture. You know, like that's African American cuisine. That's just what our food is. So it's kind of hard to tell people what their what their cultural food is to stop eating like that. I you have alternatives, but like I could tell you, vegan mac and cheese doesn't hit the same at all because that's the one thing I feel like vegans can't really accomplish is to get cheese to taste like cheese. You know, and once they can, then maybe that would help. But even then, not really, because vegan food, if you eat it in mass and you eat it in certain type of ways, it's still bad. So it's like I'm trying to figure out what we can do because there's really no solution. You can't just tell, like, because you think about it, every culture's food is kind of bad for you in some ways. Not really, but some of them are. Like, you take, like, Indians, like, a lot of food that they eat is very high in dairy, you know? Just a lot of foods from different cultures, what they eat is very high in, like, fat and dairy and, all that. So, there's no solving it. I just say eat in moderation. Don't eat it every meal. Like, make sure you're eating a balanced diet. Like, that can't be like a staple in your house. You eating baked mac and cheese every day. That can't be what your go-to meal is, Yeah. Just gotta eat healthy.
Yeah, I don't care so much about what other people eat, but
Yeah, as long as we healthy.
Yeah, I don't care. Go ahead, eat your mac and cheese. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But forgot Thanksgiving even happened.
Yeah, right? That came and went. And now we got Christmas. Gotta start freaking.
Tomorrow's Cyber Monday.
Oh God.
What we shopping for?
Yeah, see, that's why right when we get off, that's about the day post this stuff and sell it. Hopefully nobody thinks they get no Cyber Monday deal for me though. They wearing that stuff for price.
I saw a screenshot. Somebody trying to buy sneakers off somebody and ask if they had a Black Friday sale.
No Black Friday sale for me, but I mean this podcast gonna be posted. But if anybody's interested, I'm selling some stuff. I got some Helmut Lang. I'm selling some Heron Preston.
Some Helmut Lang. You got one
Helmut
Lang.
Lang. Yeah, I'm Q Modder. Helmut Lang. I'm sorry. Heron Preston. What else I got in there? I got an anti-surf social club. I'm selling that surf for like $10.
Don't start rattling off stuff.
I got some Pretty Little Thing.
All right, here we go.
A lot of Pretty Little Thing. I got some ASOS, 2 ASOS jeans. Manir Devar. I got some other stuff. Okay. I'm just letting people know if they want it. Why you such a hater? I swear, like you really be getting my nerves. And I'm not saying you have an issue.
Because you know you're gonna put it on the screen.
So I'm letting people know if they want to go check it out. Go on my Instagram, my Twitter. I'm gonna post the links. God, like let me get a little shout out for myself.
No.
My nerves. Anyways,
I see that says Kanye.
Talk about the Grammys.
I don't care about Kanye.
You know what? I'm gonna not hit you because we're not domestic violence people here. But I'm just talking about the Grammy nomination. How you a music fan? You're not gonna talk about the Grammy nomination?
Because the Grammys don't matter.
Yeah, but still, we can still talk about it.
No, we don't. The Grammys don't matter.
Kanye, of course, leads the pack. He's up there at the top.
He doesn't even deserve that nomination. Actually,
yes, he does.
He actually really doesn't.
For Album of the Year?
No, he really doesn't.
Okay, then what other ones do you think deserve it?
Which ones were even nominated?
Don't get in my nerves for real. Let me see. Album of the Year. That's rap album. Justice by Justin Bieber. Planet Her by Doja Cat.
Wait, this is for albums of the year? Like
album of the year.
Not just rap album. Okay.
Yes. Happier Than Ever, Billie Eilish. Back in My Mind, Her, which I don't know. Montero, Little Nas X.
You don't know.
Because I don't think that deserves album of the year. Like, she had some good songs in there, but I don't think it's an album. No. Remember what they said? They said she had connections. Sour by Olivia Rodrigo. Evermore by Taylor Swift. And Nanda. Baby, you gotta understand something. The other albums I know that you liked aren't gonna be up there because as a full album competing against every other category, I don't know if they qualify. Like, they're great rap albums. But Kanye had everything on there. He had some pop, he had some hip hop, he had rap, he had gospel. It was an art piece. What do you think deserved to be? What else? They might be on the rap album. I know you like Tyler, the Creator. Certified Lover Boy, though, being a best rap album is kind of interesting because he obviously has a lot of singing type songs in there too. So he could have been album of the year too. What you think? I mean, I'm still gonna watch the Grammys because it's just interesting, but I think some of the nominations were interesting. I think a lot of deserving. You know, Doja Cat was like I think she's the most nominated female. Her and Doja Cat combined, then they would have a combined nomination of 8, which is kind of crazy. Like what they were saying about her and her connections. Where do we watch that? Who said that? We watched something. They said they think her got connections, but I don't know. But I think it's deserving for Doja Cat, right? Like I feel like she deserves to eat them. Her music is good, you know. Sweetie though, I don't know. I'm not gonna speak on that. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see the Grammys. Sweetie got a nomination for Best Friend with Doja Cat. Interesting. Yeah, honestly, I don't know if Donda's gonna win Album of the Year just because we know how things work. Honestly, I don't even know who could win it. If it's not Donda, who do you think? Probably Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber. I mean, if it's not Donda, I will hope it's Doja Cat. I will want her to get it, but we'll see. We know how these go, right? So
we don't know how these go. Because just like Kanye said when he ran up on stage about to say that Beck's album was trash, but then he listened to it.
Yeah. That's the thing. I can't speak on stuff I don't listen to.
I don't listen to them with other albums.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't think.
Maybe I'll listen to it right before the Grammys and see what I think.
And you got to listen objectively.
Yeah, I can't listen as a Kanye fan. I got to listen to just listening to music.
And again, who cares about the Grammys?
Yeah, that's the thing. Kanye got like 26, I don't know, 24 Grammys. It's not a big deal. Like Nicki, if Nicki was nominated, I would be like, oh my God, I hope Nicki gets one. I just want her to get one. Just
if I ever get a Grammy, I'm peeing on it too. I'm rolling with Kanye on that one.
Nah, but Kanye peeing on it and still winning them. That's a goat status type of vibe. Who else is doing that? Who's peeing on the Grammys and still getting one?
If you're under Universal, you can do whatever you want.
No. All right. Let's see. What else do we got here? Who's this? Oh, I don't care. I don't know. Odell said that he is accepting his new salary in Bitcoin. You think that's stupid?
No.
You think that's smart?
Well, first and foremost, if you ever want to take your contract in Bitcoin, take the Bitcoin and then sell it for cash later, you can always do that.
True.
But also the value of the dollar has been depreciating at an insane amount. A lot, and that percentage is a lot higher than how much Bitcoin has increased in the same time frame. So I don't think it's stupid, personally. Like, everybody's going to keep talking about how NFTs and Bitcoin and crypto and all this stuff, people are going to keep bashing it in the metaverse, and people are going to keep bashing all this
Until
stuff.
it's too late.
And then
hop on.
that's just going to be the future. So,
Yeah. It's very interesting. It's different. I think it's cool.
He's also not the first one to do that. And I forget who the first football player was that did that. And the second he did that, Bitcoin shot up to astronomical highs, and that was a while ago.
Wow. I respect it.
Get your money.
I'm all for Black people being more educated about stuff and having, deciding different things.
Because to me, how is that any different than people buying like let's really talk about it. This isn't even a real painting behind us, but if it was, how is buying something that somebody just threw paint on, how is that looked at as like normal?
Yeah, but buying NFTs and
like,
all
you're
that
gonna
stuff.
pay $30 million for something that somebody painted, which is fine. Like, again, just like the Bitcoin thing, like don't hate on it. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But you can't look at something like that and say that that's so far off from like other forms of investment.
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion. I think all of it's stupid, but you're not going to be, either you're going to be the person that sits in the corner and points fingers and laughs at everything that's stupid, or you're going to be the person that takes advantage of it. So,
Yeah. Right.
just whatever your personal opinion is. Because realistically, this could be worth $100 million if somebody just was like, you know what, I want to
If
pay
they
that much
made
for
it
it.
that-
I
yeah,
just want
right?
to pay that much for it.
Yeah.
That's no different than an NFT, really. That's it.
You saw they dropped some NFT Birkins
Good for them.
for like 200. And somebody said they predicted it's gonna be worth like 23,000 like next week. I should copy
Wait,
one.
you said 230,000 is going to be worth.
Like no, they said 23,000.
They dropped it for 20,000.
$200.
Oh, $200.
Yeah,
Oh,
they said you could buy it
my
for
fault.
$200.
I thought you said $200,000.
No, like it's going on sale for 200. And then the girl predicted that it's gonna be worth like 23,500 next week, something based on some analysis that she did. Let me get one.
Yep.
But yeah, times are changing. We can't like it's either you get on board or you look down on it and miss out.
Because that's
Yeah.
everybody's story.
Oh, so I would have brought Bitcoin back in 2012.
No, what's the one company you think that I hear about the
Google,
most? No,
Facebook.
Apple's the number one.
Apple, yeah.
Everybody
I wish I would have brought Apple stock.
all the people in our parents' generation.
My dad
love
always
that.
brings up Google. He said he remembers the IPOing.
Everybody always like, oh, I had
would,
the opportunity.
yeah.
I had the opportunity. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yep, and that business say that about Bitcoin. That business say that. Well, they're already saying that. That business say that about hopefully Doge.
Not that those things I feel like are good investments, but I'm not gonna be the one to like down it either.
Yeah,
I'm just kind of
just going with the ride. And I have acceptance that I missed out. I have acceptance because that's just a decision I decided not to make based on my knowledge.
yeah. And if I did own it, I certainly would say I do. It's nobody's business.
Keep that secret.
It's really nobody's business. But yeah,
Don't look at my phone.
I wasn't. I was looking at
No, I thought you was gonna make a joke.
Oh, Kanye's on the screen again. Shocker.
Kanye wants his wife back. He wants his family back.
No.
Babe.
Anyway,
I'm
Let's-
all for the black unification of the family.
She's white.
I know, but yeah, they have black kids.
No.
Half black kids, mixed kids.
Okay, here we go. All right. There we go. Corrected.
Yeah, they're not black, they're mixed. I'm not even gonna get into that because people hate that conversation. Like, you're not black. If somebody looks at them, they're black. Oh, so we're going with the whole racist one drop rule. Okay, cool. I guess we're gonna implement a racist thing that was made. 'Cause you know that was like a Jim Crow thing, the one drop rule. If you have one drop of black in you, you're black. And now black people are implementing that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, might as well be consistent.
Yeah. Nah, we're not gonna get into that. That's a whole nother conversation about mixed versus black. Cause like I hate when people don't want to recognize the other half of them. They just want to claim blackness. Anyway.
What moves was those?
Anyway, I'm all for Kanye trying to get his family together. We don't know what happened, but came out here with Pete, and it's just, I don't know, he's going through it. I feel like Kanye mentally is probably in a bad place right now. We could get deeper into that, but I don't know. Between him and his family and, you know, recent news of today, I don't know. I'm scared for him. I just hope he doesn't go spiral. He seems like he's in a good place, though, but I just hope he doesn't spiral. Yeah, I'm all for him getting his family back together. We'll see. I don't know. I feel like Kim's just playing around right now. I don't know if it's a PR stunt. People think it's trying to get a distraction from Astroworld. People think it just might be PR. Who knows, you know? It might be PR for their new show that's coming out on Hulu. Like, that's what Kanye was saying. Who knows? But it'd be nice if they could get back together. But that kind of leads into a conversation about the men usually... do they usually try to get their woman back when it's too late? What you think?
No.
I mean, you wouldn't know. You never been in that position. Ew, his hair is like shedding. What's next? Did you see Madonna?
We're not going to Madonna.
No, I'm not gonna go into it. I'm asking, did you see it? What is happening? Why was she under the bed?
I don't know.
Isn't she like 60 something?
I don't know.
No, she's 60 with her cheeks out. That's sick. Let's see what else. I mean, there's nothing really going on because everybody was talking about Thanksgiving. You know what's a big topic of conversation? Is if you should put marshmallows in your yams. I need people to understand something right quick. Marshmallows only go in your sweet potato casserole. My family personally doesn't make sweet potato casserole for Thanksgiving. We just do candy yams. I don't know. That's just how, you know, I got family from Mississippi. That's just how we do. We just do the candy yams. Like, we never did no marshmallows. Like, the marshmallows in the sweet potato casserole, like, okay, cool. Like, I've gotten that from Boston Market, you know? What does your family do? Do you guys have candy yams or sweet potato casserole?
What is sweet potato casserole?
It's like the stuff from Boston Market. It's like a.
So just sweet potatoes.
No, but it's called sweet potato casserole. Like, it has an actual name. Yams is like what I have in the fridge, and which is what this is. But I don't know why she put marshmallows in it. It's like the actual chunks of the mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, like the actual pieces. Like, you cut them into rounds, and then you put brown sugar, sugar. You use regular brown sugar or regular sugar. I think that's it. I mean, I'm not sure all the specifics, like vanilla seasoning. So, yeah. What did your family make? I think you guys made the casserole, like the actual mashed stuff.
Yeah, but why is it a casserole if it's just one thing?
Because people just call it sweet potato casserole. That's what it was called at Boston Market. You never noticed that's what it's called at Boston Market? I
never ordered that from Boston Market.
Yes, you have.
I've never in my entire life eaten sweet potatoes from Boston Market.
Yes, you have, babe.
No, never in my life.
I could go back to that picture. Let me go back.
Good. Never in my life.
That was 2018. That was, what month was that? That was right before we graduated. So that was like, here we go. This was today, April 14th. And then, can you stop looking like that? You have sweet potato right there.
Oh. Oh.
I don't care.
Never in my life.
Okay, but that's what it's called. You've seen the menu. It's called sweet potato.
I've never seen the menu.
sweet potato.
I'm not saying it's not.
What else would you call it?
I just call it sweet potatoes.
Yeah, people.
Because if I say I'm eating sweet potatoes, I would think that people wouldn't think that I'm biting into the sweet potato.
I think the casserole aspect is because you add the sweet potatoes.
Yeah, never had that either.
So your mom just makes sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
You guys don't eat candy yams.
No.
Okay, well, my family eats candy yams. That's like, candy yams is busting. So yeah, I don't know. I like the marshmallows and I like the sweet potato casserole with the marshmallows. I think it's good, but personally, this is not a Thanksgiving dish for me. Like that's something I eat randomly when I go to Boston Market. I think they have marshmallows in there. Yeah, right. Yeah, babe. I don't know why you're laughing. He's like, you see it. We went into the store and you could see them. You could see it.
I swear, I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
We've been inside.
Yeah, but I'm not looking down the line like it's Subway. I just order my food and then I just go to the end of the line.
But you see it.
Honestly, until you got them, I probably never knew that they sold it.
But you see it. You could see it when you look down.
Yeah, but I don't look down. I don't look down.
I'm sure you've seen it before. You
also act like I've been to Boston Market like 900 times.
I didn't say that.
Like Jesus, I don't live in Boston Market. We were at school for like 4 years. I didn't even go to Boston Market
because
often.
we didn't have a car until sophomore year.
No, you didn't have a car.
Because it was your car we both used.
Mm-hmm.
So it was we.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, like I already told you this, my parents used to always eat Boston Market all the time. My mom actually gave me the story the other day saying the reason that she stopped eating Boston Market is because she had it so much when she was pregnant with Maya that she got sick of it. So I stopped eating it when they stopped eating. Obviously, it's my parents. And then you put me back onto it again. That's why I keep making it seem like you're the Boston Market expert because you.
Why are you grabbing me? Stop touching me.
You're making me upset. You're making me mad.
Why can't you just accept something without being mad about it?
I'm asking you, you've never seen
and I said no.
The marshmallows on them.
And I said no.
Okay.
But you should be able to accept that and not be always mad because somebody has an opposing view.
How's an opposing view? I know you've seen it, you just probably don't remember.
Or I'll just say that I knew it.
Okay,
what benefit would I get from lying about seeing sweet potatoes? That's what you make it sound
like. It's because you definitely have seen it. I've ordered it so many times. You've seen my plate when I order food.
I've never looked at your plate.
All right, Alex. All right.
I've just never looked at your plate.
Okay, yep. You never looked at it.
Why can that not be true?
Because you know how many times you ordered and you went inside to go pick it up. You've seen it.
But if it's in the bag, why would I? How would I see it?
All right. You get me upset that you've seen it. All right.
It's true.
Anyways, my family eats candy yams. That's the real way to eat it. It's candy yams. I'm not eating fucking mashed potatoes, sweet potato mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving. No hate to anybody that does though. It's still really good. But I'm just saying, I don't know if it's like a southern thing. I don't know. I don't know what it is. How did your grandma make them? Because she's from the South. Did you make candy yams ever growing up?
Which one? They're both from the South.
Either one. You never had candy yams like as a family dish for Thanksgiving? I'm in shock. Did you have some of mine or I ate them all? You had candy yams before though. I had we got candy yams so many times from like food places. Or do you not get them? Because maybe I'm realizing you never get them. You definitely did get them. Have you?
Are you asking if I've ever had candy yams before?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
I know. That's what I said. Never mind. Okay. Can you get them from soul food spots?
Or just whenever I want them.
You need to have Maya's. Maya's is good.
No, we're not going to sit here and talk for 10 minutes about yams.
Okay.
You got anything else? Because I'm going to say one thing and I'm going to wrap it up.
Honestly, nothing else really happened. Who's this?
Okay, yeah, we're not
it's
paying
Larry.
attention to anything.
No, I'm trying to see if anything happened.
No, I got one more thing and then that's it. We're just going to shut it down.
I'm not talking about thing?
Virgil?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's the last one. All right, yeah, that's nothing. I guess nothing else happened.
All right, so I'm probably gonna go on a long one here. I guess you can jump in if you want, but I'd rather you not do it.
I'll just add like whatever I have to add in the beginning before you get in.
No, you just.
Oh, I'll just jump in.
No, don't jump in. Just say what you have to say first.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I don't have a lot to say. Like I really don't.
Because then I'd rather you just not jump in then.
I just wanted to give my opinion on the whole like clowning people thing.
Go ahead.
No, but I'll just jump in when you get there.
No, just go ahead.
Okay, I'm not gonna just start off with that. So you go ahead. You go.
No, you go ahead.
Actually, no. I'll go after you. That makes sense.
Okay. So if I did this earlier, I probably would have would have cried on the camera. But and I'm not the one that really is invested in celebrity lives or anything like that. But this Virgil one, first and foremost, obviously it came out the blue, which was so random. But it's also the impact and legacy that he's had, and really just a well, I can't even really call it a short period of time because he's been doing this for a long time, in a bunch of different ways that people probably don't even realize, and his impact and influence. So yeah, so this one definitely caught me off guard. He's definitely somebody that I look, and I will say look, not looked, look up to, in terms of his attention to detail, design, creativity, his influence, and impact. It's definitely something that's astronomical, not really something that we've seen too often from really any designer in general, but especially from a Black American. So his impact to me is definitely runs deep in terms of how I view design, the way I view clothing, and yeah, and his impact definitely will last for a very long time. He's made some of the most impactful album covers, some of the most impactful sneakers, some of the most impactful
Merch.
clothing lines, merch. He's done a lot. Definitely done a lot for the community as well. That doesn't really get talked about too often. And giving back and always being one of the people and always being available for people to, ask for ideas or have ideas get bounced off of him and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I got like a ton of stuff to say. I was actually gonna just do this as a separate video aside from this podcast. But I don't even know where to start. Like, if you take Virgil is one of the people that birthed streetwear. We talk about everybody that came from the Kanye Academy, like Heron Preston, Don C, Matt Williams, Virgil, and I'm definitely forgetting some other designers as well. But Virgil was definitely one of those pioneers early on.
What's the name? Jerry Lorenzo?
Yeah, Jerry Lorenzo was from Kanye Academy. There's a significant amount of people, but Virgil, Matt Williams, they started out as a DJ collective, and that birthed the Pyrex gear, which created a catastrophic snowball effect that I don't think anybody would have thought of. Something that we definitely have never seen before. My mouth is gonna get really dry because I'm doing a lot of talking, but no, it's all right. And they started Pyrex, and that just created this whole downstream effect and literally burst
Like
streetwear
graphics,
because
right?
before that, graphics, of course, existed forever. They didn't reinvent the wheel, but what they did was they took the wheel and revolutionized it, and made it to what it is today. Like, the reason why I made this hoodie, but the reason why my graphics look the way they do on stuff that I make, the reason why graphics look like the way they do on stuff that other people wear, the way that made like a whole line, like the way it impacted all of high fashion, Gucci's and all these other clothing companies. They never did that before, with their logos and things like that. Of course, they did graphics with their logos on it, but they completely made it a focus to make those types of clothings because of the impact that it had. And we see how that's changed everything forever. Like, the reason why we get the way Dior is now. I hate Dior now. I think Dior now is terrible designs. But the reason why it is the way it is now, then this is not saying this is Virgil's fault for Dior being terrible, but it's because these high fashion brands took something that wasn't authentic to their brands, which was Virgil's kind of more or less original concept, and then they tried to apply it to their own brands, and they weren't able to really do it. And they're successful, of course, nonetheless, but still just seeing the impact that these companies have, like, that Virgil's had on these companies, it's definitely been crazy. Like, going from Pyrex, and then obviously that turned into Off-White, which not even probably, is the biggest streetwear brand I would almost argue. I don't know if I could argue this, but I would almost argue that Off-White has been more impactful than Bape, which is probably a wild statement to say, especially from people in streetwear as well. But especially because Off-White came off of Bape, and I'm sure there was some influence there. But just seeing the way that it changed how everybody dresses, because Bape was people that were wearing that. It was such a small, specific group of people, almost like skate culture. Before, like when people used to wear dunks, it was such a small group of people. But Off-White transcended all of that, and it reached everybody, which is why I would argue that it's been more impactful. And just seeing how that again has influenced designs everywhere. The quotation marks has been ripped off by every company in what I call mall fashion. All those stores that I don't personally shop at, but places like Zara, H&M, all of them.
Forever 21.
Aside from Yeezy's influence, like the Yeezy brand's influence on the way they dressed, the next thing in terms of graphics, all of that was ripped from Virgil. And then also the Off-White Nike collabs. Can't say that Virgil was the first one to really make to like set that off. I think you could give Kanye to a large degree credit for that, but the one that kind of revitalized Nike in terms of what they were doing, there wasn't really a whole lot going on at Nike in terms of revolutionary designs. Like in between the time the Yeezy 2 came out and then the Off-White Virgil shoes came out, there were some things like the Air Max came out, cool.
Silver Bullets came back out.
I don't know if the self-lacing shoes came out within that time between the first 10 and Kanye's Yeezy 2. I don't know. But basically, long story short, there hasn't...
Everybody's attention was on Adidas. You can admit Adidas.
Yeah, everybody, like, Ultra Boost, and there was a lot of revolutionary ideas going on at Adidas, but Nike was kind of stalled. Like, they really only have done Huaraches and Air Force Ones and 9,000 different colorways. And I feel like Virgil took sneaker models that people weren't even really caring for anymore and kind of revitalized it, made it something like completely Blazers, different. Right? Yeah, like Blazers. Nobody was wearing Blazers. Not anymore. Like obviously the Blazers are an old shoe and people used to wear them. Like if you go back and watch old movies, you'll see the Blazers pop up. But Virgil was able to take that, revitalize it, and then rebirth this whole sneaker culture and that whole downstream effect with like the way Travis's shoes have an impact alongside Yeezys, because Yeezys were still dropping alongside Virgil stuff too. But it's basically Virgil gave people the ability. I kind of want to credit Kanye too, but Kanye leaving Nike gave people the ability to make collabs with Nike. So we'll give Kanye credit for that. But then the person that took that and made it explode into something completely different, which again gives you the collabs like J Balvin and I think it's J Balvin has Jordans, Travis Scott, and any of those additional collabs. All that stuff is like Virgil's influence with the impact that he had with the sneaker drops, from the original 10 to everything after that. And obviously we saw what the price was for those sneakers, so very sought after. I was lucky enough to get one. I got a lot of I'm not even gonna rattle them off, but I had a lot of them.
You had like the multiple Blazers, Air Force Ones.
Okay, so you'll rattle them off.
The Chicago ones. What's the ones we have now? What are they called? The white ones?
Yeah, I had a lot of them.
Yeah. Prestos. Obviously, we had both Prestos.
There's more than two. There was three.
Oh yeah, there was three. But you had the first two. Or no? Yeah, the first two. Mm-hmm. You had a lot. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Did you have two of the Air Force Ones? Did you get the black ones too? I forgot. You just had so many.
Yeah, I had a lot of the Off-White collabs.
I still remember the day that do you remember the day that they dropped? I was in the lab, I think, at work.
Mm-hmm. That's
and so were you? Were you trying to get them?
And I hit.
Yeah, that's when you got them. I didn't. I failed that first drop. Oh my god. My first ones were these. The UNCs. I got them May 2018 during that surprise release. You actually got them for us, but I would have got them too. I should have got them myself a pair too, right? Even though you got them, I still got one to flip.
Yeah.
And I got to press those that summer too. Second press those.
Yeah, so I credit Virgil with a lot of the future sneaker collabs forever now from Nike, because Nike saw what that did
Yeah.
culturally, and I would credit Virgil for, honestly, for even the revitalization of the Dunks, because it kind of like that whole downstream effect from people becoming more woke about shoes and sneakers and stuff. I credit Virgil for that with
Hmm.
the Off White collabs. I credit Virgil with honestly even the sneakers app, like that whole process. I credit him with that because that was like a big
That's
learning
where like it
point with,
started
yeah,
too.
like with,
Cause
just
Nike
future releases.
saw, like I said, Nike saw Kanye's impact, and they have their shoe now, like their shoes, and like the sneakers app, like like it was like the confirmed app. And the sneakers app really already existed, but it's like these anticipated drops kind of died down
Yeah.
for them at least.
So yeah, and Nike will eat off of his legacy for a while. He has a bunch of unreleased stuff as well. So the family will definitely be able to keep continuing to make money off that stuff. So that's good. And yeah, he really just revolutionized a lot. But with all that being said, none of that to me, also the quotation marks as well. I briefly spoke about that, but that was definitely, people can say what they want about the quotation marks, but we can't deny how much of an impact that had as well. Because I've
That
seen
whole
so many
deconstructed thing.
I've seen so many people, like so many companies replicate and make dupes off of that. Like it's just crazy seeing how far it's gone. As
It's
well as like his
crazy.
IKEA collabs. So much that he's done. The legendary album covers he's made. My favorite one that he made was the 808s and Heartbreak
Yeah,
album cover.
that was crazy.
It took me years.
Like the deflated heart.
Yeah, it took me years to find out that the heart is actually a deflated balloon, in the shape of a heart. Very fire, iconic album cover. As well as Watch the Throne, Cruel Summer, some of the Little Uzi ones, some of the Little Uzi album covers. He's done a lot.
There's one like I saw this. It was like Wizard.
And if I'm not mistaken, he's a doctor as well. If I'm not mistaken, hopefully I'm not misspeaking, but
Here's a video of
he
all
went
of
to
them.
school with went to school for architecture. But the album covers here. This is a West Side Gun. I think it's Pray for Paris is the name of that album. Yeah, Kid Cudi album covers, Two Chains, ASAP
ASAP.
Rocky, Big Sean. It looks like is in here. There's just a lot that he's done and impacts that he's had that you just wouldn't
Like we said, the merch,
necessarily
like all the Life of
understand.
Pablo merch.
Merchandise in general
Travis.
forever was changed because like even Jerry Lorenzo being able to get the collab with Justin Bieber, even though Jerry threw his own sauce on it, that for the Purpose tour was Jerry's merch. But even that was like all that stuff kind of it all kind of comes from Kanye, but we also credit Virgil as well, for any of those things. So what else? I think that's really it on the design aspect. But
Yeah.
definitely his studio, the way he lays things out, materials, his ability to play around with different ideas and stuff like that. It's tremendous. I always loved the women's off white stuff. Eventually it became very hype beastie on the men's side with people just,
Just the graphics.
yeah, the graphics became a lot. But I'm sure a lot of that was after he sold off white anyway, to be honest. But he still owns the trademark,
Yeah, it was
patent,
weird 'cause we
copyright or
just were
something.
talking about this. Remember?
Yeah,
Why did I feel like we were talking about it on the pod?
but that was months ago. We weren't talking
Yeah.
about that on the pod. We didn't even
Okay.
have a pod at that point.
Oh, yeah, that was so long ago.
It was a really long time ago.
We were talking about this, yeah.
But
We
I,
were just talking about Off-White yesterday. That's the crazy part. Like we saw somebody wearing the Prestos at the mall.
but to me at least, none of that stuff really matters. Because what I've seen a lot. I mean, everybody reacts to death in whatever way they want to react to it. But everybody's reaction that I've seen has been about the clothes, unfortunately. People posting sneakers and jackets and off-white stuff and all that kind of stuff, which I do understand. you know, because people did the same thing with Kobe. Not too many people had Kobe's. Only the real the real ones had Kobe's, but people definitely deal with death in a different way. Where you know people are posting the items. To me, when it comes to Virgil, that stuff is kind of like it almost doesn't matter. I think that his legacy and impact is far beyond just that. His ability to him and Kanye interning at forget what I think they interned at Fendi, and then Virgil basically being able to take a brand from scratch that was nothing and then flip that into an opportunity to work at the pinnacle of fashion houses and Louis Vuitton, being tasked with being able to be the director of the menswear line for one of the richest people in all of human history, that owns all of this
Like
stuff.
the fact that like literally you have Bernard on Arnault like releasing a statement today, like that just shows like you really made it. Like that's crazy.
To me, that's really the only thing that anybody should say today. Obviously, the sneakers, all that stuff is cool as well.
That's why, like, sorry to interrupt, but I posted all that. Like, when I posted the sneakers out, I posted us at the Louis Vuitton pop up. I was like, that's crazy that he made it that far. Like, I posted everything. I posted him being a DJ. Because, like, I think it's weird because we just were talking about being at the Travis Scott show a few weeks ago on the podcast. But also at that show, we saw Virgil, like, in 2017. And I was like, that was your first time seeing him in person, too, right? Our first and only time. I don't think we've seen him after that. Unless we just didn't know. Because you work in New York, so you might have walked past him and didn't even know before. But, yeah, he does a lot of stuff. He DJs too. Like he was a really good DJ. So yeah, that's why I make sure to show everything. I'm like the DJing, the fashion, the sneakers.
Yeah.
It's a combination of things that made him like who he is and his impact.
Being the first black head of any line at Louis Vuitton, that to me is the legacy. Him basically being able to open doors for other black designers as well. In the future, I think that we'll see a lot more black designers in these high spaces that, for whatever reason, us black people try to get into. We'll call them the white spaces.
Instead of creating our own. But
yeah, we'll see a lot more being able to do this because of Virgil's impact. So that to me is the legacy. It's what he did and how it's going to define the future and how it's going to make these companies billions of dollars moving forward.
these high end brands are looking. They're probably gonna be looking towards the streets now. The street. We want to say like they're gonna be looking at what our culture is wearing. They already been doing it for years, but now more than ever.
Yeah, and that to me is the most important thing. Like, I could care because the human lost their life, so I could care less about sneakers and how much resell is for this or what this is that is. Like, I really don't care about that. But when we take a look at what he was able to accomplish in really a relatively short period of time and how it's going to impact the future and how it's going to generate billions of dollars, how we got representation in one of the industries where it's almost okay to exclude people of our skin tones. And I don't mean just putting a dark skinned person up on the runway. I'm talking about being able to run and design these things, like put people in the room that are making you the billions of dollars, right? Like it doesn't make sense that Kanye's not on one of the boards of Adidas. That to me doesn't make sense.
That's sick.
And
when literally Yeezy had the craziest impact.
And Virgil to me is that representation. So that is his legacy and that's the impact and that's what I'll remember him by. It's not going to be the quotations in the air or on the side of the shoes. It's not going to be any of that stuff. It's what he was able to do. And unfortunately what he wasn't able to do as well. And there was a lot more work to be done. And that's how I'm personally going to remember him. But to keep going, I got like another 20 minutes in me on Virgil. I could go all day.
Sorry to interrupt too. Like you said, it does suck. He really only got like a few lines out with Louis Vuitton too. When you think about it, like wasn't the first one in 2019? Oh no, it was 2018. That show where Kanye was crying, that was 2018. So it's been a few years, but it just doesn't seem like it. I think the pandemic kind of made it seem like it. Yeah. But sorry, go ahead.
Next thing, Virgil unfortunately dealt with a lot of scrutiny over the last couple of years for some very interesting things. So, first and foremost, and this is a thought that I've had just in general, this is conversations that I've had in general. This is me not now supporting Virgil. Like we mentioned, I've supported Virgil since the rip, since before we even knew each other,
I know.
which is crazy.
That's what I was saying. Like I knew about Pyrex, but I didn't really back then. Like when I knew about stuff, I didn't really like. This might be bad, but I didn't really care about the people behind it. But I knew about Pyrex for a minute. Like I think
Also,
India Love put me on the Pyrex.
time out. I definitely misspoke earlier. Matt Williams and Virgil made Ben Trill together. They did not make Pyrex. My bad. I misspoke. They didn't make Pyrex. Pyrex was a Virgil thing.
Yeah. But then Ben Trill was like, yeah, the combine.
Yeah, so I misspoke.
And that's when I knew who Virgil was, but from Ben Trill, because that's when you first told me about Virgil. That was freshman year.
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah. So it's almost 10 years.
Yeah, so he's gotten a lot of scrutiny, mostly because I think first was the $50 donation thing. To what was that for? Was that Black Lives Matter or something? Or
it was
it was to $50 to get people out of jail or something.
Yeah.
No matter what it was.
That's when the scrutiny started.
It's a shame that happened too, because he apparently already donated tens and tens of thousands of dollars. But what he was trying to give as the message was that he wanted people to match the donations that other people were doing as well. So he, at that point, when he posted the $50 screenshot or whatever the thing was, the two Virgils that everybody, the joke was funny.
Oh yeah, that two Virgils thing came from.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He already had posted tens of thousands of dollars, which had to have been painful for him to have already donated all that money. But then people's perception is that you only donated like $50 or whatever it was, and that and then now you look crazy if you're like, no, look, I actually posted this much money, like, and then it's like, so it was really a no win-win situation. I see what he was trying to do, but it's just unfortunate that happened. But I don't think that he should have got killed for it, especially because people are so quick to like run and be like point the finger and laugh.
Like, they were like, oh, Virgil makes all this money off us black people, and then look what he does. Like
yeah, that's psycho behavior. But also because of the Pop Smoke album cover.
Yeah. Like literally ever since then, like his comments on Instagram have been disgusting.
And everybody's entitled to their opinion about the cover. I don't personally even remember what the cover looked like. I think it was like a diamond or something.
I just saw it. It was like Pop Smoke literally in the middle of of diamonds.
Yeah. Okay. I remember it.
I just saw it.
I remember it in my head. Definitely have whatever opinions you want to have, but people also ended up killing him because of the quotation marks and stuff too. And one thing that I want to say about this is that and I'm talking about black people as a culture, because I don't care what other races have to say about what we do in our culture at all. Like they're disregarded. I don't care.
That's why you ever see white people say stuff about rapping and people be like, "You're white." Like, sorry, I don't care. Honestly, I don't care about your opinion on rap.
Yeah.
You're right.
And I feel the same way. So one thing, I'm speaking to the black people, we're so divisive over every single thing and why we never accomplish it. And this is one of those things where we'll take the most like mediocre and whack thing that any white brand, high-end brand does and run with it and be like, oh, it's amazing. But the second a black designer does something, then we instantly kill them for it, say we're not paying his money for it and all this other shit. And it's like we want to force ourselves to be accepted by white people so badly, and that we're like tearing down our own black people in the process. Where if any other brand, if Gucci just started putting Gucci in quotations on any shirt, people would be first to go sprint in line to go buy it. And just because the black designer did it doesn't make it now whack. Mm-hmm. And he unfortunately had to deal with that stupid shit. Before he passed away, with people being like, oh, he's just putting quotations, he's not a good designer. It's like, whoa. It's like, first of all, go look at all the stuff that he's done in general. Like,
people don't even know all the other stuff. They just know Off-White.
And that's their problem. Like if you
Like he was literally the artistic director for a reason of Louis Vuitton.
of Kanye West. So then the reason why you dress the way you dress is because of his direct influence as well.
Literally.
Whether you like it or not, the reason why you wear your pants a certain way, the reason why you wear your t-shirts look a certain way is because of him. Whether you're wearing his brand directly or not.
Yeah, it's all influenced from his designs.
And
Like a lot of it.
even Kanye stuff, like people will credit Kanye with these things, but it's the people behind the scenes. Kanye
Mm-hmm.
has a design team.
And Virgil has been a part of that design team
Since the
from
beginning.
jump.
That's why
like,
you
you look
see-
at any old picture of Kanye, Virgil's most times in the background. He's there.
Yeah, that's a lot of this came from Virgil. It didn't come from Kanye in the first place. So people need to recognize that. The reason why some of these designs and the reason why Kanye's Yeezus tour merch might look a certain way, it's not from Kanye directly. Kanye has a design team always. The Yeezys themselves are from a design team. It's not made from Kanye from scratch. It might be his idea, but it's always a team of people. But we killed Virgil. We killed, and I hate to use that word, but we killed Virgil so much over, not we, y'all killed Virgil so much over things that if some other white brand made it, you guys would have been fiending for it. And we as black people got to stop doing that, because all we're doing, it's like the same reason why nobody goes to like the Soul Train Awards, but everybody goes to the Grammys. It's the same
BET
exact
Awards.
thing. It's like we don't even love ourselves enough. And not saying that you have to love something a black creator made just because you're black, but it is very obvious that if somebody else did the same thing, because y'all eat it up, because I see it. It's like you'll kill Off-White for a specific design. This shirt is $300, and people saying I'm not going to pay $300 for this, but let it be a Givenchy shirt, let it be Gucci, let it be Versace,
and
and then you'll pay it effortlessly. And not only that, you'll go to the store just to feel cool and walk out with a bag and record yourself with this. And I just hate that, right? And like he unfortunately was one of the people impacted by black people's divisiveness.
Yeah, and literally the last few years of his life now.
Yeah,
And that's like, so sad.
that's a probably a terrible feeling on your way out.
Yeah. And now those same people were posting on their story, Rip. Like,
Yeah,
come
R.I.P.
on.
Like that's crazy.
You was very giddy about the whole two Virgil jokes and the Pop Smoke stuff. And like, I get it. We could clown each other. That's a part of our black culture. Like, we clown each other, you know? But people just took it too far and kept going. Like I said, out of curiosity, I literally was in his comments on Instagram like a few months ago. Out of curiosity, 'cause I was like, you know what happened? I'm like, I don't even follow Virgil on Instagram. Let me see what people are saying in his comments. A lot of mean stuff still. It's like, now you're going beyond our little jokes. You know, we joke. Our black people, we joke. And he probably was laughing at some of the stuff too. But we take it too far sometimes.
Or he wasn't.
Yeah, or he wasn't. Or he was like, damn.
Or maybe he was sick that day, because everybody knows somebody that died from cancer, but if you haven't been around somebody that actually has cancer, or been around somebody that has actually
Some days
died
are
from
worse.
cancer,
Yeah, some days are bad.
some days are because people just be like, oh, they had cancer and then they died, but you don't see people throwing up, not able to walk, not being able to do all these different things, and people in the comments like making jokes and everything's funny, and I don't think that people would have made those same jokes if they knew, but regardless, people
Just
should treat people better.
Like literally after the Chadwick thing, that was supposed to be the whole thing we were supposed to learn. Like,
Yeah,
see, look what you guys did. He was making fun of him. He was sick. Like, I thought after that we would have stopped, but people are still doing it.
It don't make any sense to me.
Still doing it about, like, you know me, I'm a huge Kanye fan. Like, even how people do a lot with Kanye. It's like, you know, I get it, we're going to agree to disagree, but one day he's going to pass and everybody's going to be so sad. It's like, why not just appreciate these people now that they're here and just like stop being like clowning everybody? Like, not everything has to be clowning people.
Yeah, and if you don't like something, just don't like it, but keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, and this is not specific to Virgil so much as this is applicable to everything and everybody. Like, people think that just because they have a Twitter and they just have a Instagram and a YouTube account, that they're just entitled to say whatever they want and do whatever they want. And they're able to, basically, because there's no repercussions. Like, the person that said that clown Virgil, now that he's gone, like, they don't have any impact onto him. Like,
The only thing is now they might feel stupid if they post something in their story and now they're gonna go back and that comment that might have 4,000 likes is gonna be at the top. Now you gotta delete it. Cause now, how crazy you look.
or now it's too late because somebody already screenshotted it.
Yeah.
But just in general, that wasn't so much specific to Virgil, but really just mostly in general. Like
Stop treating people like.
I don't understand it.
And those same people those same people who do that would not be able to handle it if it was the other way around. Like they wouldn't be able to handle a day of fame.
They wouldn't say it to the person's face.
They wouldn't. They would be asking for autographs, taking pics, trying to get selfies together.
Or tweeting. They would have definitely tweeted, "Oh, I saw Virgil today."
Yeah.
Like he's like, you like, that's the whole thing. Like, that's what it's just comical, bro. And that's the thing. Like, one thing is for certain is that you are going to die in life, but most people that die in life are gonna be unknown with no legacy left behind. But you're clowning somebody that will have a legacy, and that's the thing.
Yeah, that
Still,
will
one
be
person that will
remembered
be
forever.
immortal, and then
Yeah. And the only thing you did was put a comment underneath his post. I got a couple thousand likes.
and
That's your legacy.
yeah, that's all you did for the day, and that's something that nobody will even remember. Like they wouldn't even remember after somebody likes your your little comment. They're
They
not
move
even gonna
on.
remember the next day that they even liked the comment in
Yeah.
the first place.
You know how
Like
many comments people like that don't even remember at all what they liked?
it's crazy.
People do it all the time. They're like, dang, I didn't even remember liking that. When that like that? Like, you know, when they pull people's tweets back up.
Yeah,
People don't remember you. You're not famous. You got a couple hundred likes on your little comment or post. Like, people move on. It's funny. 'Cause I was just thinking about that the other day. I always wonder. Like, you know me. I have these random thoughts. I wonder if there was a way like every single person I commented or like interacted with on social media, if we all were in one room, they probably wouldn't even know who I was. Like, why am I here? Right? Like, who? It's funny. I just randomly had a thought. You know, I had my weird thoughts. And I was like, what if everybody I ever mentioned and talked to on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, we're all in one room? Everybody would probably be like, why am I here? Who is this? And I remember commenting and I remember us talking, right? Like, that's just reality.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my long rant about Virgil's death. But rest in peace, Virgil. This one definitely hurt me a lot. When he said I don't even know if it was a couple years ago, a couple months ago, but when he said streetwear was dead, it might have been last year when he said streetwear is
No,
dead.
that was like before the pandemic. It was like 2019.
He wasn't lying because now there's gonna be no direction because everybody was just ripping off of Virgil anyway. So now there's gonna be no direction. So
And it's weird. Remember you said that earlier. You feel like maybe he said that because he knew that's when he got diagnosed. And I'm pretty sure he said that in 2019. They said he got diagnosed in 2019. And I feel like he said that statement like end of 2019. So it makes you think. Like if he was saying that by himself, right? Like if it was kind of him hinting. And everybody goes on his neck about that too. What do you mean it's dead, Virgil? Like, you don't know nothing. Oh, I was like, yep, he doesn't know nothing. Yeah.
yeah, because everybody be dressing like they lost. So clearly,
Yeah.
it looked very lost to me.
But it's crazy. In a way, he kind of was right, though. Like, even the way that, like, you know, how I'm literally selling all my stuff. And I'm over a lot of stuff. I'm over, like,
You see people more in tune with high fashion now. I'll even give them credit for that. Like, well,
yeah.
I don't even know if I want to, but I kind of want to
A
because
little bit. Because once he had that Louis Vuitton collab,
that opened up so many people to like a whole different thing.
and
Like,
people were watching his fashion shows, and they saw it was more than just the quotations.
Yeah, it's more than that. Virgil was actually a really good designer, and that's why it's a painful thing that the most popular things are usually I won't say his line was corny, but it's the most easily digestible. I will say, it's easily digestible to see a logo plastered everywhere. Not that he did that, but I'm saying in general, it's the reason why people like the Dior, where there's Dior all over the place, and Louis Vuitton, where there's Louis Vuitton all over the place, or Goyard, where there's Goyard all over the place. Like people like those things, but there's so much more to fashion houses and these brands outside of just them plastering
Like,
their
they make
logos
some
everywhere.
really good stuff. Like,
And that's what
quality.
he showcased. But he was doing that in general with Off-White, but nobody ever paid attention to that
Yeah.
because people just wanted to have the
That little
stripes
X in
and
the
the little
back,
X
yeah.
on the back because that gave him a status thing. But whatever. Rest in peace, Virgil. That's all I got.
This was like definitely shocking. Literally caught me off guard. I was watching somebody's story. Somebody, I think it was like a TikToker or somebody who I followed, and I was just like, I watched like back to back stories. Like I watched like it was like a couple celebrities, and then I watched the TikToker. I'm like, why is everybody posting this Virgil pic? And nobody was commenting anything. So I thought, I'm like, all right, did Virgil just drop something? Like, why is everybody posting this? And I clicked the post, and I was like, wait, what? And then I told you, I was like, wait, somebody Virgil died? And you're like you were just like in shock. Like I was like, this, because that's not what you expect, you know? It was kind of like the Chadwick death because I was like, it was like the same type of impact because it was like we didn't even know they were sick, you know? And it's like, how? Like, you know, usually when you hear deaths, it's usually something tragic, like accident or something, but then it's like, cancer? Like, we didn't even know he was sick. Yeah, definitely caught us off guard today. It's just, yeah, like, you just don't expect that. You know? I don't know. It's like we all know we're gonna die one day, but you just expect everybody's gonna die old, you know? Like you don't think in your mind Virgil's gonna die in this 2021. Like that doesn't even sound right. But yeah, honestly, you kind of touched on all the points I was gonna add. I just wanted to make sure I put emphasis, and I hope everybody clowning him, and now it's Rip. And then I wanted to bring up how I was happy that we got to see, and we got to see him in person, and we've supported his stuff like beyond the Off White collabs. Like I said, we went to that his pop up shop in 2019. It was July 2019, and where were we? It was on how you say that, Ludlow Street. It was like was that Soho? It's like Soho. Like I don't know. Is that even Soho? It is near. It's like I think it was Soho. I'm pretty sure, but I don't know. I'd be forgetting my parts in New York sometimes. But yeah, we were over there in 2019. And we saw his whole collection. It was like a walkthrough, and like a lady walked through. We actually have that. Do you have it on your YouTube channel too? Yeah, and I have it on mine. So we have it on our channels if anybody was interested. But yeah, we saw the menswear collection in 2019. And that was cool to see us have a person, And then you got one of the sneakers from that collection, that the Louis Vuitton, the green and white sneaker. It was like green and like cream colored. So yeah, we've always been supporting Beyond Off White. Like Alex said, he's been a fan for so long. Like I knew of Pyrex and Bentro and all that stuff, and then Alex put me onto Virgil when I met him. I had more of a passion for who's behind it. Like once I met Alex, like he kind of put me on more into like actually understanding who's behind these things, and that's when literally like when we started dating. That's literally when I started like getting knowledge about all those people. Like that Matt Williams, like with Alix, and like Cherry Lorenzo with Fear of God, like Kanye obviously with Yeezy. Like I got started actually making sure I acknowledge who's designing, who's behind these brands, and not just wearing them just to wear them. So yeah, Virgil was definitely one of those people in that list of all the people that you put me on to, and then yeah, I'm happy we got to see him. I didn't even know that was him when he first came out. I was like, is that Virgil? Like I have it on videos. Like, is that Virgil? Like I couldn't even tell if that was him or not. And then yeah, he told us to calm down because everybody was wilding out during that show. Yeah, very unexpected and sad. Yeah, hopefully like his family is gonna be okay. And I just think about people like Kanye. Kanye doesn't seem like he takes death well, so I know he's probably messed up, right? Because that was like his best friend. Like they were like brothers, so. Yeah, and I know people keep bringing up, oh, they were just fighting, and Kanye this and Kanye that. It's like, okay, yeah, best friends fight. Like, people fight sometimes, people argue, but it's like you think that takes away from the fact that you're gonna be distraught over someone's death. Like, I hate when people do that. People always want to bring it up like they probably don't have conflict with somebody right now in their life. Like, and I don't know if Kanye knew about him being sick. Honestly, like you brought up Chadwick, didn't tell anybody. Only people who knew his family, so it could have been the same thing with Virgil. He might not want to. He might not wanted to, mess up people like that, So, yep, sad news. Definitely kind of ruined my vibe for the day, but yeah, just make sure that we appreciate his legacy. And it's gonna be interesting to see like what he had in like in the tuck, what's gonna come out. Definitely the value of his stuff is gonna skyrocket. Like anything Off White is going to be, or Louis Vuitton men's is gonna be like very valuable. So yeah, but I think one key takeaway is just appreciate people out of here. Like I hate that people don't appreciate people until they're gone. We gotta stop doing that. It's like freaking annoying because like it's literally a repeated process of people being rude or being a certain way to people and then them dying, and it's like, oh my god, it's so sad. It's like I hate that. So be nice to people out here and spend every day like it's your last, and just try to be mindful about your health. And do anything we can to try to prevent these things. Sometimes you just can't prevent them. But do the things that you can do to prevent, eat right, work out. Just anything to keep yourself alive. Because You know, this is outside of what happened to Virgil, but people, lots of times people don't really take care of themselves, and then you leave people behind that are going to be distraught about your death. So, yep. You have anything else, or you wrap it up? I feel like we've been good on this 1 hour 45 minutes.
Rest in peace, Virgil. That's all I got. You got anything else? All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. This has been the A Couple of Things podcast, where we talked about a couple of things. I'm Alex. This is Mal, and we are signing off.
That's not good.
It's not a good outro?
Don't do that.
It's your boy Alex G.
What's that song where Kanye says, Virgil, Pyrex, Dynasty Snapback? I Am a God. That's the song. I'm going to play that. You know what? That's actually might have been the first time I heard Virgil's name. It definitely was. And I heard that song before I knew you.
No, we
Kanye put me onto Virgil, actually.
Let's give him some. You want to give him some Virgil songs?
The only two songs I know that have his name in is the Drake one, the Virgil in Your Circle, and I Am a God. I feel like there's definitely other references. Quavo has given him shout outs. Because the thing he talked about has Off-White.
Yeah, hold up. Let me see if I can open up. My iTunes is wild. I need Apple to get in contact with me because my iTunes doesn't work.
You know, there's a website that you could look up lyrics and you could type in a word from lyrics and it'll pull up every song that had that.
Oh, we got a whole advertisement.
Life is Good had Virgil mentioned.
Come on, girl.
That's the Virgil in My Circle.
Working on a weekend, sweat. Virgil got a paddock on my wrist going nuts.
Rest in peace, Virgil.
Am I done? I forgot that one.
Niggas caught me slipping once.
We gonna get copyrighted.
Haven't done my taxes. I'm too
Come on, we getting copyrighted for Virgil.
Virgil got a paddock on my wrist going nuts.
Yeah, that paddock was in fact nuts.
That's the one that Kanye was mad about?
That is the one, the legendary paddock. Yeah. All right, that's it. I could do a bunch of songs with Virgil
He's in that
references.
song?
Yeah.
Griselda?
Yeah, Griselda. Come on. Come on.
Dang. He had a lot of references.
Come on. I'm not going to even be able to find it. All right, wait, here we go. Come on, rest in peace, Virgil. Come on, Virgil. Told Virgil, right brick on my brick.
Now I gotta play I Am a God.
Come on.
Virgil, Pyrex, Dante Snapback.
I got to look all these up on YouTube because my iTunes, for whatever reason, anytime I've ever opened up iTunes in any laptop I've ever had, it won't ever open iTunes. Like, it'll open in like 20 minutes.
Dante Snapback.
Yes, sir. Rest in peace, Virgil.
Yeah, that's the first time I heard his name actually, because you know he's his 2013 vibe. So that's before I knew you.
Impact was tremendous. Never will
Yeah.
be forgotten.
It's crazy. I think he was one of those designers where people actually knew his name
Yeah.
too. Like I said, like nobody would know Matt Williams is behind Alex. I feel like that's not really like a household name for people who like are not really into fashion. People want to know Jerry Lorenzo is behind Fear God. You know, people want to know some of these things. So he was like one of those where people actually knew who was behind the designs, for the most part. Yeah. I feel like you got to give Drake that credit because you know Drake is such like a mainstream person. He brought up Virgil's name multiple times in his songs, so he probably put a lot of people onto Virgil.
At this point, though, Life is Good just came out.
No, but I'm saying like I feel like people know Off-White, but I feel like a lot of people might not know Virgil. If that makes sense. Like people know brands, but might not necessarily know who's behind the brands. You know?
No.
No, I'm saying I just feel like Drake helped, like for like regular people, like not people who are actually into the stuff. Like people who are into stuff obviously knew about Virgil for a minute, but I'm talking about people like just regular people. Like they probably like, who's Virgil? Like you know some nerd probably listens to the lyric like Virgil. Drake always bringing up Virgil and he types it in. put two and two together. I'm sure there's a handful of people that got put on by Drake. But yeah, sad day.
Now we are done.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you don't do anything.
Dumb.
You know, stay safe, stay healthy. And yeah, again, thank you guys for watching. I'm Alex. This is Mal. This has been the A Couple of Things podcast where we talked about a couple of things. We will see you guys next week.
I'm running out of sounds.